Beneath the blazing African sun, the jungle was trembling under the echoes of war. The air smelled of blood, rage, and fear. Once a peaceful stretch of wilderness where lions ruled the open savanna and gorillas guarded the dense forest, now it had turned into a battlefield. The war began with a single roar, a roar that changed the fate of both species forever. It started when the lions began crossing the border between the grassland and the forest in search of new territory and prey. But what they found wasn't prey, it was resistance. The gorillas, large and intelligent, stood their ground fiercely. The first clash erupted near a muddy riverbank when a pride of lions attacked a group of gorillas resting near the water. The battle was brutal, teeth against fists, claws against muscles. The lions won that day, but their victory came at a cruel cost. They had taken the gorillas' babies as trophies, dragging them away into the savanna. That act sparked a vengeance that would burn for years. Every sunrise after that, gorillas struck back. They moved silently through the tall grass, attacking the pride when they least expected it, killing cubs and injuring lionesses. The savanna turned red with the blood of both species. The once golden plains echoed not with roars of dominance, but with screams of pain. The gorillas had become more than enemies. They were shadows of revenge, and the lions had turned into desperate kings clinging to pride and rage. Among the lions was Kale, a powerful young male with a golden mane and eyes that burned with both fury and sorrow. He had seen his brothers die, his cubs taken by the gorillas, and his mate torn apart in an ambush. Every scar on his body told a story of loss. Across the jungle, there was Nira, a female gorilla, strong yet gentle at heart. She had seen her family destroyed by the lion's cruelty. Her baby brother had been one of those kidnapped. Hatred burned deep in her chest, yet beneath it was a hollow sadness that no revenge could fill. The war continued for seasons, until both species were nearly wiped out. The ground became a graveyard, broken bones buried in mud, scattered fur, and torn vines marking the end of two empires. One day, under the dim light of a gray dawn, the final battle began. Kale, bloodied but unbroken, stood before the last surviving gorillas. The forest echoed with growls and grunts as the wind carried the scent of death. Nira led the gorillas now. Her once kind eyes had hardened, yet when she saw Kale, she hesitated. He didn't roar, he just stared, his mane soaked with blood, his breath ragged. "Enough," he growled softly, his voice trembling, not with fear but exhaustion. "So many have died. What are we fighting for now?" Nira's chest heaved, her muscles tight with rage. "For them?" she said, pointing toward the ground where the bones of her kin lay. Kale looked down too. Bones of gorillas, bones of lions, all mixed together. It was impossible to tell which was which anymore. He took a step closer, and though she raised her fists, she didn't strike. "We both lost everything," he whispered. "If we keep fighting, there'll be no one left to remember them." For a long moment, there was silence, just the sound of the jungle mourning its dead. The rain began to fall, washing away blood, softening the earth that had soaked up so much pain. Nira lowered her arms, her tears mixed with rain, streaking down her dark face. "What do you want, lion?" she asked, her voice breaking. "Peace," Kale said. "Just peace." He collapsed from exhaustion, his body covered in deep wounds. Nira stood still for a moment before moving closer. Something in her heart shifted. She had hated lions all her life, but seeing this broken creature, this last survivor of a dying world, something softened inside her. She gently placed her massive hand over his wounds, trying to stop the bleeding. "You shouldn't die," she murmured. "Not like this." Days passed. Nira nursed Kale back to health, hiding him deep in a cave away from other predators. They barely spoke, yet their silence carried a strange bond. For the first time in years, Kale wasn't fighting. He listened to the forest sounds, to Nira's quiet breathing, to the world slowly healing. He started to see her differently, not as an enemy, but as a reflection of his own pain. Nira too began to notice his gentleness beneath the scars. When Kale laughed softly one evening at a bird stealing fruit from her hand, she felt warmth she hadn't felt in years. It was strange, forbidden almost. A lion and a gorilla, the last of their kind, finding comfort in one another. One evening, as the sun set in red and gold, they sat by a small stream. Kale dipped his paw into the water and looked at his reflection. Beside it was Nira's. Two faces that once belonged to rivals, now side by side. "Do you think the jungle will forgive us?" he asked quietly. "Maybe," she said. if we forgive ourselves first. He looked at her then, and for the first time since the war began, he smiled. Not out of pride or power, but out of peace. Months went by. The land started to heal. Grass grew where blood once flowed, and the trees whispered in calm winds. Kale's wounds faded, though his limp remained, and Nira's heart no longer burned with hatred. They would sometimes visit the graves of both lions and gorillas, leaving flowers, an unspoken apology to both worlds. One night, under a full moon, Kale said softly, "Maybe our kinds will never return, but maybe it's better this way. Maybe this is the jungle's way of starting over." Nira leaned against him gently. "Then, let it start with us." As seasons changed, a legend began to spread among the smaller creatures of the forest. A story of a golden lion and a gray gorilla who ended the blood war not with claws, but with love. No one knew if it was true, but sometimes, at dawn, travelers swore they saw two shadows walking side by side near the old battlefield, a lion and a gorilla, peaceful and unafraid. The jungle had healed, and in that peace, the memory of their war became just that, a memory. Kale and Nira lived out their days together quietly, far from the eyes of the world. When Kale's final breath came years later, he was resting beside her, the morning sun glowing on his mane. Nira held him close, her heart breaking but filled with gratitude. "Sleep now, lion," she whispered. "You gave me back my heart." And when her time came, the jungle welcomed her too, her spirit forever entwined with his. Long after they were gone, when the wind blew across the valley, the trees still seemed to whisper their story, a story not of hate, but of redemption. A story of how two enemies found love in the ruins of war. And as the sun rose each morning, golden light washed over the land once more, as if the jungle itself was smiling, for the lion and the gorilla who taught it how to heal.